Oh God! There went my phone.
We're gonna get into a wreck.
No. So we're on when am I on? Episode 3. This is an intro for episode 3. Welcome to the Decipher the Media podcast. I am recording this introduction as I am driving to the premiere of, what movie is it, Nicole?
Body Farm.
It's called Body Farm. And I have my hot date for the night is holding the camera here. So while I record this is totally safe, by the way. Totally safe. So I'm on the road on the way to the Oaks Theater in Oakmont. Prior to this, we recorded a couple episodes that had to do with the premiere. We recorded those at the Rivertowne Pour House in Monroeville, which I will actually be going to later tonight for a wrap party. Me and my hot date. She's rolling her eyes at me. So I just figured I'd bring my recording gear along to the premiere and just record probably a little mini episode. I don't know if it's going to be as long as the other ones were, but definitely get some footage there while I'm on the premiere, on the red carpet, as they call it. So this episode in particular is of Tim Roberts and Kevin Hejna. These two gentlemen I've known since I started out in Pittsburgh, about 5 years, I'd say. Much like the gentlemen that I've had on the podcast in the past. These guys I've definitely worked with a lot. We've been on a lot of each other's projects. Tim, in particular, he's been helpful in the camera department, and Kevin, in particular, has been very helpful as an assistant director. So I've worked with them. They mainly have been in those roles, but they've also assisted in many other roles as well on set. Tim has taken over camera director of photography duties for me once or twice on the production of Body Farm, and hats off to him for doing that. Had some personal matters going on a day or two that I had to have him do that, and I know he's very good at what he does. So and then he was always there on set to assist me with the lighting and with any camera setups and anything like that. So he's been a huge help. And Kevin was pretty much the glue that held the entire production together for Body Farm. He was always there, always organized, making sure we had what we need for each day as we shot. Always keeping us on time and keeping us from screwing around pretty much. So these boys have been with us on this production from the beginning, and I'm glad that I got to sit down with them and talk to them. As we drive to the premiere here for another event, I just wanted to introduce these two gentlemen on a podcast that we've actually already recorded, but this is Decipher the Media, episode number 3 with Tim Roberts and Kevin Hejna. Enjoy. How was that? Was that good? So today we have...
I am Tim Roberts.
Okay. That's a great introduction.
Thank you.
And?
I'm Kevin Hejna.
All right.
I think I played a dead body.
You played a dead body in Body Farm.
Yeah. Oh yes, we worked on Body Farm. I guess. that should be
Yes.
something.
These are crew members of Body Farm. What did you guys do? You were like Ace.
I was Steve's gaffer.
Gaffer. You pretty much
Best
did.
friend. I was
did
Steve's gaffer and best friend.
best friend, camera best friend, best friend camera. That's how he's credited in the role. Steve's best friend.
Steve would be like, "I want this insane lighting setup," and Tim would be like, "Okay."
No, I tried to keep it as simple as possible. It was Nick that wanted the insane lighting setups. He's not on this podcast. He was on the first podcast. In case you want to know who he is, so go watch that one
Simple
or
is
listen to
definitely
it.
key. Yeah. Simple is key.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
If you are a camera person, you want something that's simple and quick to set up. If you're the director, you probably want something that's insanely impossible. So that's usually the mentality that goes on set.
It's that mentality anywhere. I mean,
Yeah,
you have your crew to keep you grounded in reality. The director needs to really be
yeah.
thinking as
Spacey
ambitiously as
and-
possible.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a person that's
Going
really
above and beyond.
yeah. That person needs to drive the crew. But everyone
Yeah.
else needs to be realistic and think, okay, maybe we can't do a flying 360, which never happened. But just so you guys know, flying 360 is a little difficult to do.
Can you do a somersault while you're holding the camera and jumping over a
I
car?
saw a YouTube video of some guy do that.
Yeah, I think I know what YouTube video you're talking about. Somebody said it was like fake or something. Like there was no way that they could have done it the way that it was.
I don't know. They made us all
If it's the
look
same
bad.
one that I'm thinking of,
They made us all look bad though.
but I don't know. I'd have to go look at it again.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, what did you do on set?
I was the assistant director.
Assistant director. All right, and what kind of duties did you do? You were pretty much keeping everyone in line, right?
It's sort of like the train conductor. Okay, people were moving. And I make sure, if they say there's a gun and 5 actors on set, there's 5 actors and a gun, not 5 guns and an actor. Usually.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of, making sure Nick gets his shots, making sure.
You want to read anything on the air? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh,
Today's our week.
am I supposed to read it on the podcast?
You can read however you want.
Brewers Burgers, burger topped with brewer's beer, cheeseburger, and LTO. That's $6.50, in case you were wondering.
That's a great deal.
By the way, we are recording tonight at Rivertowne Pub in Monroeville. Is this technically Monroeville?
This is technically Monroeville.
Okay,
so.
this is technically Monroeville. So, if you ever want to go to, did I say Rivertowne Pub or Rivertowne Pour House? Because there is a difference between the two.
You said Rivertowne Pub. This is
Rivertowne Pour House, not pub. Rivertowne Pub will take you to North Huntington. This is Rivertowne Pour House. It is in Monroeville. They have good food. I've been here several times before. Have you?
I've not been to this one, no.
Yeah,
The Rivertowns.
Are there
not the
several?
Pour House.
Are there several?
There's
Rivertowns?
one in Irwin, I thought, and then there's one in Northside.
Oh, maybe that's the Rivertowne Pub that I'm
That might be
thinking of.
Rivertowne Pub in Irwin, and then there's one on Northside, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Like right on North Shore.
You go here often? I guess you're
we
more
make
in this.
movies, apparently.
Yeah, I guess you're more in the city, so you can't
That's
really.
true. I actually was not on the shoots where you guys shot here at Rivertowne, but you guys, how many days did you shoot here? 1, 2?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Now, that was my favorite day here. Was what Nick called the Goodfellas shot. Remember that? Where we had Angelo. We had Angelo Ray. He was, Angelo. Yeah, I know
him.
him.
Oh,
Steadicam
yeah.
operator. And
Yeah, we did the Steadicam shot. Yeah,
right,
through,
and you
through
go
the
through
restaurant.
Rivertown's kitchen. I
nice.
don't know. It might be cut from the movie. Is that a spoiler? But anyway,
Oh, no, it's not a spoiler.
podcast now. Anyway, it went
Is it-
through.
Hey, Brandon. Did the Steadicam shot, did that make the final cut? In here?
They all did. Yep.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, all
Oh, cool. Yeah, so
So it's in the film.
that'll
You
be
heard
in
it
the
here
movie.
first.
That'll be in the movie.
But yeah,
Not
you
in the
start.
podcast. Not in the podcast. You can't see it now because it's depending
We will
on.
actually be recreating it later.
Yeah, you're seeing us right now. That's how
It'll
this.
just
And if
be
you're
the-
listening to the audio, then you're only hearing our voices. You're not really seeing us. You can just imagine what we look like. We're very strapping, handsome.
All three of
Look-
us.
look like,
we're like the Three Musketeers.
Ryan
Like the Three
Gosling.
Musketeers
We're like
with
Ryan
both
Gosling's brothers, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Ryan Gosling's better looking brothers.
Yeah. We just never got into acting, so that's why we're not famous, obviously.
So they were over here somewhere, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, you follow, it's like a waiter, I think. And they go from outside through the kitchen, like through here, through there, all the way around
Yeah.
and back. And you had to like queue extras to come at a certain point. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. We got to. It pretty much takes you on tour around the restaurant, so you get to see kind of that up close and personal. But the way that it was shot was really awesome. We used a Steadicam. If you're not familiar with what a Steadicam is, it's pretty much a camera that's kind of like you're strapped to it, pretty much, and to help it, as the name implies, keep it steady. Do you work with Steadicams a lot?
A
So
little
you-
bit, yeah.
Okay.
I have.
So you know how the
Yeah, it's-
physics and mechanics of
it's
it all
counterbalance.
works.
Basically, right?
Yeah, it's entirely a basically mechanical piece. You have Steadicams, you have gimbals now, are very popular also.
Oh, yeah,
Gimbals
yeah.
are electronic. It's like a 3-axis motor. That's everything's working to keep everything stable. Where Steadicams, I mean, those go back since the 70s. I think 71 was the first time a Steadicam was used, maybe.
Oh, really?
75.
Was it 5?
I know I used it in Rocky. There was a movie
Yeah.
before that. I forget the name of the movie, but it's the
Yeah.
one with David Carradine, and he's like a folk singer. And they
singer.
start out in a crane. The crane comes down,
And a Steadicam
and
operator
then
walks
like
off.
it's like a
Yeah.
train sort of thing. And then the
Ah.
crane comes down, and he walks
And
off of it, and
totally
like
blew
blew
people's
everybody's
minds.
minds. Like, how did you do that
Yeah.
shot? And
That's how it is.
Rocky was the
And-
second one. That's been
And
going
that
up
camera
this.
operator, I wish I remembered his name. I should know.
Garrett
this stuff.
Brown.
Yeah, so he invented it to basically do that, and then realized it was so like, why not just keep doing this? It's mobile, but yeah, it basically just utilizes gravity and physics to keep the center of gravity from falling from outside, and it just pulls it down. Really cool stuff. You don't have to worry about batteries. That's the nice
Yeah.
thing about them. The more electronics you have, the more things, kind of more gremlins you have to deal with.
Yeah, you have to get those big battery packs, have everything strapped to. and
There's electrical gremlins always happen. The more electronics you have, the more issues you just think, what the hell? I have to keep hitting this thing, just keep slapping it till it works. And it
slap
does.
it till it
but-
works.
It's The Shining when the kid is like riding on the bike through the overbooked
Right.
hotel, and then he turns a corner, and then there's the two creepy twins. That's Steadicam.
Ah, nice, very
And
nice.
Goodfellas, which the bar scene in Goodfellas, which was this was a homage to.
And Boogie Nights was a very similar scene that what Goodfellas did. They did something very similar a few years later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it basically was like a roller rink. Maybe
Okay.
a roller
I don't
rink.
think I've seen Boogie Nights.
It's very, very Goodfellas like. They probably called it the
okay.
Goodfellas shot at that point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It gives your camera kind of a weightless quality.
Right.
And you don't use it all the time, and I think there's two Steadicams. There's one in Moundsville. Ray Mongoli shot that one, and Angelo shot this one.
Yes.
And typically, like that's something like they bring in special. The Steadicam op usually has their
Yeah,
rig.
they
You don't
have
really
someone
rent
that's
them.
like
Yeah.
either they're trained to use that equipment, and they usually have their own equipment to use, and they're hired on to do it. I was a director of photography, but I wasn't actually operating the Steadicam in
typically
those
they
shots.
don't.
Yeah. So
It's an art into itself. I mean, it's not just pointing like composing the shot at that point. You get to like, it's almost like a full body workout almost.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your entire body kind of like operates it at that point.
I know
so.
it's like Angela was saying, like it doesn't do certain things well, so you kind of have to set the shot up. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Nick and
Yeah.
I were here the night before with just nobody, and we just sort of walked. And then it's trying to figure out when certain extras get cued,
Right.
and it's sort of like, go now.
That's
It
a
took
lot
like-
of blocking work.
Yeah, it's
a
like,
lot of
Yeah.
It was
blocking.
like 10 takes or something it took. I mean, we typically were shooting
Oh yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I
Those-
was falling behind the Steadicam shot in here the whole time, and it was just a lot of back and forth, and just timing just had to be just right for each little thing.
I think we had an easier time with the one in Moundsville.
Yeah.
This is Moundsville Penitentiary, which is
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
West
There
Virginia.
wasn't as many cues because we were just doing a pan across the prison cells pretty much.
and also focus was. It wasn't less critical. Focus is always critical, but the plane of focus doesn't change that entire shot.
Right.
At the prison, because it's basically a tracking shot.
Yeah.
And the plane of focus is always equal distance from the camera at any point in time. Where
Oh, yeah.
when you're walking forward, your plane of focus changes like exponentially quickly the entire
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yeah,
so your
that's-
blocking
that
has
definitely
to be
makes
precise.
it-
Blocking has to
makes
be
it
very,
more
very
difficult,
precise.
so.
So going back to what was shot here, there's a scene. Avoiding spoilers, the one Brett plays, I believe his character is Zach in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a certain special effects sequence in the bathroom. We shot that here too. So we won't say more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me anymore. That'd be
I
a spoiler
saw-
for me right now.
Yeah, right.
I saw more of Rhett's penis on that shoot than I wanted to see the rest of my life.
Say, don't tell me anything more. Steve.
I'm sorry. I just,
It's okay.
it's just, yeah.
That was the two big things that were here. There was lots of little things. It was sort of amazing how this movie uses other places in different ways. 'Cause, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the whole thing, like once we go in the penitentiary, we don't leave it, but we're
Yeah.
shooting like we're
Oh yeah,
recreating
it's not
it.
actually like one location that we're shooting at.
Yeah, they're using lots of different places.
We're spreading out, we're spreading it out to make it look like it's one penitentiary, but all these locations, it's many locations. I don't know how many different ones we shot at to make it one penitentiary. I want to say at least
Probably 10. About.
10, yeah, somewhere around there. Because we got exteriors at one place,
Yeah.
and then we have the set that was actually built in Brandon's basement.
Two sets actually.
2 sets. That's right. That's right. So
The second set being another special effects sequence, which is a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
yeah, that one I don't think I was present for that one. You took over duties for that day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
So
I
That was
guess
the blood. That was a big blood day.
yeah, that one I actually missed.
I got a few drops of blood on my lenses that day.
there's this
More than a few.
There's still blood, dried blood on my camera from that shoot.
Yeah.
Which I don't really care about, but I
there's
just
this
I was playing blood off equipment for about 4 months after that. Still.
there's this shot of Tim in the middle of the floor with a watermelon
Yeah.
and just blood. But you really can't see the camera, so in context it looks like we have
thanks.
I'm like, I should probably take this off my phone. If the cops ever pulled this up, it's not gonna look like we're making a movie. It's
Yeah.
gonna look like
Kevin Hejna, assistant director in Serial Killer.
yeah, right. So it's always the quiet ones, Tim.
It's always the quiet ones.
So how is the best way to dispose of a body?
Either a bucket lie or pig farm. One or the other. Or both.
Why does pig farm keep coming up as a way to dispose of bodies? I feel like
It
this
works. I know.
in like the past month, this is the second time I've heard about a pig farm used to like get rid of a body.
As long as they're hungry, they eat anything, man. Anything.
It's like that scene out of what was it?
Hannibal?
Hannibal, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. If I'm not
your computer?
Sure. Thank you.
if I'm not
Just
mistaken,
just to get a
beyond-
little
TLC.
Anybody else need one?
no, I'm good. If I'm not mistaken,
man, thank you.
beyond Brandon and Nick, we're probably the only three who are like on every one.
I was not.
No, really?
I was probably on. I was on probably 65%. I'd say 65, 70%,
Yeah.
something around that. But
You were
Because
for
there
everyone.
were times you were real busy that you wouldn't be able to
yeah,
make it.
my schedule gets me kind of wacky sometimes.
I mean, I was on like probably 95% of the shoot. It was just that
All but that one day.
that one day. I think was the only day I couldn't make
Yeah,
it.
I think
for.
I missed one too. But I mean, I
Yeah.
was on it for everything, so
Yeah.
it was.
We definitely. I mean, the credits in the film, they'll say, specific jobs that we did, but we really all wore multiple hats on this production.
Definitely.
So it wasn't just, limited to whatever we're credited as.
I looked at
Exactly
the old call sheet. The first day of Body Farm, that footage actually made it into the film was March 15th, 2015. So that was how long it took to...
Yeah.
Well, I knew there was a couple scenes we had to reshoot, so I can't only imagine.
So the first official day we shot was February 27th or 28th.
Was
But
that
footage, that was the
that was
beginning, which we replaced later.
Yeah, we had to reshoot all of that, unfortunately.
Which is cool because like we reshot it because we got better.
Yeah.
It's like, and it was
Yeah,
to get it to
totally.
match, we...
Yeah, because the original feel of the movie starting out, it was a lot different as we progressed, because, we started out and, I don't think any of us have done something of this scale before. I don't know, have you guys done anything?
A feature? No.
The only feature I
did
worked on was like a feature-length documentary, but
Okay.
it really wasn't shot over 21 days. It was maybe 5 days of shooting, and a lot of it was performance. Like it was based on performance.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was performance pieces, and then talking
Yeah.
about So to the extensiveness that this was, no.
I shot a season of a web series. It was 20 episodes. That took a year. And if you strung them together, you probably get about a feature. But that was all in one coffee bar. So it was in Bellevue. It was just
Okay.
one place. And it
Yeah,
just showed
this
up.
was
And,
just-
so this was much more of a...
Yeah, required
puzzle.
more locations, more camera equipment to shoot it, more resources available. Definitely
And more dedication, really.
more dedication.
I mean,
Yeah.
the dedication for
It's like running
2.5, 3 years there.
I run 2
Yeah.
marathons. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you keep running and eventually you kind of get there. It's like,
Yeah.
Or you pass out from exhaustion. Whatever happens first.
And sometimes you drag some a little further, they pass out, you wake up, you drag them a little further. I mean, it's kind of
Might throw up a little bit, or
no, actually it's peeing in marathons you have to worry about, not throwing up.
Oh, pee. Yeah, gotta stop.
You're consuming
stop,
so much water. It's
gotta
one of the things they
stop
don't
off
tell
the side of the road
Yeah,
and take a little tinkle, and that
Just wear a
happens.
you.
catheter
Ooh,
the
tall,
whole time.
ooh, tall grass. It's like,
Exactly.
so yeah, making a feature is like that.
It's
So-
like peeing. That's
It's like peeing. Sometimes it hurts a little bit, but by the time it's all out, that feels great.
I mean, unless you have an STD, then it probably hurts a lot. But
Yeah, it probably hurts afterwards also at that point.
So I was,
I don't know.
and
had one
it
of
just
those.
hurts all the time.
It's
But,
just
that's
sounds awful.
that was your fault for getting that in the first place. So
I actually did my research for this podcast, right? I know.
you did research for this? Nobody does. I don't even. I host this podcast. I don't do research.
I did research too. I ordered a nice tall glass of cider. That was good research.
Anyway, I was trying to figure out when was my first mention of Body Farm. Do you remember this, Croner?
Let me know whenever you want to go off.
Do you remember? Because you were the first mention of Body Farm. I was like, you sent me an email in like it was February of 15, asking.
Oh, was that me?
It was you. And he asked, dude, do you know how to do a call sheet? And I remember I sent you Zombie Woman, which was a short film. I sent you the call sheet.
You sure that was me?
That was absolutely you. I'll show you the email later.
you'll
You can
have to-
put it on
if-
your podcast.
If you have that email, you need to forward that to me, because
Anyway, it was like, dude, do you know how to do a call sheet? And I sent you a call sheet, and then it was sort of like, dude, can you do a call sheet for us? And that's how I got on the Body Farm. Little did I know, 3 years later.
yeah,
Call sheets are like an art form that you just cannot do without. If you know
Yeah.
someone can do a call sheet, it's like you need that.
So
It's your main form of
call sheets are like
communication.
99% of the work on a film.
Yeah, I mean
set.
that is the main form of communication and
Yeah,
tying
that's
the
true.
crew together. Like literally, if you don't have a good call sheet, the crew just falls apart before it even starts. That's the glue that helps the day
Yeah.
actually even
So,
happen.
anyway, you would think that Brandon or whatever would be the one who got me on or Nick. No, it was actually you.
Yeah.
I've
that
never
was
stopped
so-
doing call sheets after that point.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. If I sent that email to you, I don't think I have it anymore.
Let's talk something very interesting.
All right.
Kevin, what is your favorite part about doing call sheets?
Is it the part where you put things on the call sheet?
It's gonna be profound right here. Call sheets.
Tell us about call sheets, Kevin.
Oh, well, all right. This is interesting. Nick will send me, this is what we're shooting. You have to then take the script and you sort of turn it into a piece of modernist art. You have like different markers, and this is an actor, and this is everything you need.
Okay.
And then it's sort of like you make a list. And then you say, Nick, this is everything we need. Is everything we're going to need there? Yes or no, or we don't need this. And usually Nick's like, don't worry about A, B, C, and D. Or we got you covered. So, and then you just, I don't know, you make a giant spreadsheet out of it. And then you proofread it. And hope what didn't happen the one day when Dave majored the call sheet. Everybody had to be here at 9 a.m. for reasons that I don't know. I put his call time at 11. Luckily, he noticed that it was 9 a.m. and didn't show up at 11.
Oh, that's good.
I was like, hey, Nick, how do you feel about shooting a silent film? He wasn't too pleased about that idea, as you can imagine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We have Brandon in the background, just kind of hanging out. We're gonna bring him on later, but he's just doing really random things right now, talking to random people.
What you're saying is he's being a producer.
He's being a producer. Yes, that's what producers do. They talk a lot. I'm gonna get myself into trouble on this podcast.
I just set you up for that.
Well, it's not live, so say whatever you want. It can get cut out.
Well, mine won't. At least my version won't. I don't know what Brandon's going to put up on his edition of this, but mine's going to be on it.
Wait, so we're actually talking to people right now?
No, it's not live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we couldn't get the streaming working. Ugh, my
Gotcha.
throat's getting a little
That's
dry.
gonna do better without that kind of pressure on my shoulders.
The first one we live streamed. It was the first time I ever live streamed.
Yeah.
I wasn't even planning on doing that, by the way, for the first podcast.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the day of shooting. Brandon texted me and he's like, "How'd you feel about streaming this?" I was like, "What?" I was just gonna do an audio recording. That's all I was gonna do. I was like, normal podcast audio recording, throw it up on iTunes, that'd be it. He's like, first he comes to me, he's like, "How'd you feel about if we did video?" I was like, "All right, yeah, we can shoot video if you want." And then he's like, "Now, how would you feel if we live stream the video?" I was like, "Okay, sure." So we streamed it to Facebook. A little technical difficulty at the beginning, but once we got all the bugs worked out, it worked out.
So what was your interesting part? I know call sheets. You guys get the more sexier jobs, don't you?
The sexier jobs. Yeah.
I've AD'd
I mean,
a few,
chicks love the camera guys, right?
I've AD'd a few projects in my life, and I feel like AD is the unsexiest job because you don't get the credit that an AD, ADs don't get credit for what they should.
ADs.
AD is the toughest job on set, in my opinion. Of things I've done in my entire life, the hardest shoots I've ever had, I was AD on. I just think you have to have such a bird's eye view, and details. You're the person that's making sure those details are, if they're not being handled, you're figuring out how it can be handled and who can handle it at that point.
Kevin's not going to admit this, but he was probably the hardest working person on this production.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You schlepping all that equipment around. I'm not sure about that.
There's a huge difference between physical and just details. To me,
the details.
To me, I will do 70, 80 hours of physical, just grip work a week. And, and I will be less tired than I do if I do 40, 50 hours of ADing and producing and detail and things. It's so much more stressful and taxing. Yeah,
there's a difference between being physically tired and then being mentally tired.
Yeah. As long as my brain is not fried, I can at least crawl. If my brain's fried, I can't even crawl anymore.
Yeah, it's just you can't even think about doing, what you need to do. So
I think for me, the biggest challenge was Moundsville. Just because that one damn fuse box.
I was thinking about that fuse box. We had the working cells for that. I think I talked about that when I was being interviewed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
But
well, so this fuse, I basically plotted out the ampage, and when I looked at ampage, there's no way in my head I should be tripping a fuse, but the fuse box kept tripping, and every time I kept tripping, it kept popping the fuse out because it was
old fashioned.
The whole place
yeah.
is, you know, it looks how it really is, but this fuse kept popping out. But it shouldn't have been tripping in the first place because I was distributing where I thought things should be distributed. I'm like, I'm only doing 12 amps on this circuit and 12 amps on that circuit. Why am I flipping it? Turns out that the prison block shared its fuse box, not just of its own block, but with the not just the hallway, but the hallway that's in a room around the corner and at another hallway, and the coffee maker was on. That's why I kept tripping. But in my mind, not once. It took me 2.5 hours of resetting this fuse and like a couple blown takes because of it. It took me 2.5 hours to realize
The coffee maker
something
was
that's shouldn't like electrically doesn't even make sense should be on this fuse box. What's on the same fuse box?
It wasn't the coffee maker, it was the ghosts.
It was a ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The ghost kept
dead.
making coffee.
let's just say when we took the coffee maker and put it 2 hallways down on a stinger, we were fine after that
Yeah.
point. But
So did-
that was weird.
it's always that damn coffee maker.
So did you guys go and check out the Mindhunter set when you were there?
No, but I did look at some of the equipment they left behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were wrapped. But they had like crank-ovators and like 20 by frames all just littering the yard. Granted, you can't steal that stuff. I mean, you can't just drive up in even a pickup truck and steal a crank-ovator.
it's like-
Yeah.
Yeah, they told us not to go look at it, and of course I didn't.
Oh, I only saw what they had in front that they left in the yard. I didn't see anything else.
Yeah, I didn't see the absolutely crazy elaborate set work that David Fincher does. And how each individual cells was like individually like personified. I didn't see that at all.
Fincher. Yes, Fincher.
So we were literally filming the same location as Netflix's Mindhunter
Yeah.
at the same exact time.
So
I mean, they
if
weren't
this is-
they weren't there that day that we were there, but
no, but they
like Fincher didn't come in and say like, maybe you should try this one.
we can just pretend
hey,
like
can
we
you guys
shared-
keep it down? We're trying to shoot over here.
We walked in the bathroom. He was in the stall next to us.
Oh, what's up,
nothing like
Fincher?
that.
So we're
call him
so we're
Finchy.
Finchy.
so we're here. This was the block we were shooting in, and then like it was literally the next block over
Yeah.
was the Mindhunter set.
Yeah. So yeah, it's ridiculous that
I mean, we were only there a day, so I'm not sure how much of it is in the film.
We did a lot in a day there.
Oh yeah.
That was
we covered
big
a lot.
day. That was a big day.
We had to be there for more than 12 hours, right?
Yeah, I know travel time was like I think travel time, load in, load out, shooting time was for me was about 16.5 hours, I think, that day.
Yeah. Yeah, we got out of there later than we were expected to, I remember.
You guys remember? I want to know if it made it in the film, because if it's going to be in the film, it's going to be hilarious. We shot a shot of Nick, Brett, and Brandon in Nick's garage, like the wall of Nick's garage. And I remember they took reference photos of it because they were trying to recreate it in Moundsville, as if like they're walking down this corridor and then you cut to a close-up and it's Nick's garage. I don't know if I made it in the film, but I think that's awesome. Like,
Yeah, we
Piecing together of locations.
we had a lot of sets, a very large range of types of sets that we shot on. Some of them were actual real locations, and some of them were, made in someone's basement. So. Or in someone's garage.
We could do a drinking game. Every time someone thinks it's in the basement, they drink. Every time they're wrong, they get to drink again.
Is this in the director's house? How much of this did we shoot in the director's house?
I've shot in the director's house before. I've also shot in the director's parents' house previously before.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
For Nick's previous films,
Yeah.
we he made a couple sets
Mr. and Mrs. Lemania's.
in his parents' garage.
So yeah, there was 4 sets built for this, if I'm not mistaken. 2 in Brandon's and then 2 in Nick's.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
anyone-
that's true.
I don't know if there's a spoiler, but it shouldn't be. I mean, it's a film called Body Farm. Does anyone know, does Brandon still have blood stains in his basement? Like,
Well, as I understand it,
does he?
the blood
Yeah, he
ejected
said-
like it
he
got
checked
into his
everywhere.
vents. Yeah.
Oh, it went everywhere. I
We
mean,
were down there doing
No
some
room.
promo stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I have blood down here. It's just that probably never
yeah.
gonna come out."
No walls are
I was like,
spared.
"Oh yeah, just leave that there for when you sell the house, and they're just gonna like go down there and like wonder."
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's like, oh, I was talking about like Body Farm. It's like, oh, I don't like horror movies, and it's like, it's funny. It's like a totally different perspective when you're making them, because it's just, corn syrup and air cannons, and
Yeah.
you know it's not real. And it's
Yeah.
kind of fun and
And it's
cool.
not like making the movie. It wasn't like a horror experience.
Right.
We always had fun on set.
Oh, yeah.
And we were always joking around and just having a good time. And
Set never got to a point where it was like, oh my god, the stress
Yeah,
of
no.
making the day is going to just make me want to
I
drive
mean,
my car to the bridge. Like, no, like it was really like good vibes, positive. Everyone really did what they had to do throughout the
and
day.
I might wanted to have killed Nick once or twice, but
Well, I mean,
you know.
you're working for 21 days. I mean, if it's once or twice, that's pretty darn good working with any director.
And yes, everybody in the cast and crew made it out alive, and we're happy to say.
Almost.
Almost.
There was that one PA.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
That one
What was
piece.
her name? I don't remember. She was there.
Shh. They haven't found the body yet.
Pig farm.
Pig farm.
So have you talked to Mike at all, the special effects? Because I feel like he's like,
No, we haven't. Yeah,
There's some
Mike
crazy-
Williams
yeah.
did all the special effects. Is he credited on here as
Yeah,
Michael-
Yes, sir. Production
Michael
design, yeah,
by Mike,
so-
production
Michael Williams.
design by Michael Williams?
Michael the Beard Williams.
The Beard Williams.
I mean, all the stuff he did,
My
Also,
that was like crazy.
my
Like,
favorite moment of filming was everyone's reaction. I will not do a spoiler, beep 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 beep, but a bunch of brain matter blowing against the wall. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler, but the special effects on that, everyone's reaction was probably my favorite moment.
oh,
that one
and
moment.
it's great because the way you do these things is, so you shoot everything up to like the very moment, and then you rehearse it like crazy. You're doing it 15-minute times up to the point of hitting the button.
yeah.
So you're sort of like conditioned to not expect something. And then you get to the one where it happens. And then obviously this time is different. And it's
Yeah, we did like I mentioned, I wasn't there for that basement scene, but we did something similar in Brandon's basement for the 48-hour film project.
Yeah.
I think it was the first one that we that I was like the lead on. I don't think any of you guys were there for that, were you?
I was not. No, was that
It was,
was Mike Reaping in that one?
yes, that was the one
I-
with Reaping
Call-
in it. He
call-
played
call.
like a soldier.
Yeah.
Brandon
What a guy.
played like this dick business guy.
I remember that one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
and
not
we
there,
did
but I
that
remember.
that thing where we had where it was supposed to be Reaping, like pretty much bashes Brandon's head in with a baseball bat, and we got like this watermelon and just like filled it with all this like Kiro syrup and all this other.
we did the
random
watermelon
stuff.
trick in this one too. Yeah.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah.
And yeah, we just like went to town. It just went to town on it, and but I just remember. Was it Brandon had that? He has like a riot shield prop. It was like a clear riot shield. So like, I had somebody. I was on the floor, pretty much rolling around in blood, and with my camera, and then I had someone standing over me, putting the riot shield in front of the camera to block the blood splatter.
That worked
It's
so
just
much
like-
better than what we did on Body Farm. We had a picture frame that we pulled the glass out of and held that in front of the camera lens.
And you had two
Yeah.
cameras on that too, right? That wasn't that one of the rare times we had two. I think mostly because
So
as a backup, 'cause
Yeah.
you don't get a second tape.
This
so.
might be a spoiler. I will say nothing, but the quote gun blast unquote. We had two cameras for that one, but for the the one we used watermelon for.
All right, yeah.
We only had one camera for that one. That's one where like you saw watermelons. That's like a grenade going off when you hit it. It's just shrapnel everywhere. It just bits.
Well, didn't we have trouble with that? Like when he hit it a couple of times and nothing happened. And we were like, then
Wait
Nick
a
said
second.
Nick gave him like the direction like hit it harder or something.
Oh yeah, and it just went everywhere.
There's a production I worked on recently where they had there's a specific name for it, and I can't remember the name for it. It's like an actual cannon that you put in like somebody's body, like underneath somebody's clothes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What is the name of that?
Air cannon. Right?
No, but I mean, there's a specific
Very
name
industry
for
name for it.
Squib?
like a production, a squib. I think it's a squib. Does that sound right?
Theoretically, a squib I think is like an explosive, but they might call it a squib still. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. It was really cool because they actually like specially like rented this for the shoot, and I just I've never seen anything like that. Usually, most of the productions I've worked on, they usually have homemade cannons or
like
you
air
know, brings.
compressor.
Yeah. So.
So, the other really crazy moment, you were here for this one. You probably remember this. Yeah, so you know Tom Mirth?
Yes.
Very giant bear of a man. There's a part in the movie he tackles Brandon. Trying not to spoil, but he tackles Brandon. And I remember we were set up behind, so we were in the backs, and Nick was in the scene on the floor. So that meant when both actors on, the AD calls action. So we're setting this up, and we did this a couple of takes, and then, you know, Nick said, give me a minute. And they're setting up, and in just one moment, he takes Mirth aside, and he goes, really hit him this time. Brandon had no idea.
Didn't Brandon have like a bum shoulder or something like that? That he like that was the reason he couldn't get hit hard.
I don't know, but anyway, so and Nick smiles
Apparently
at me,
Nick didn't know that.
and I'm smiling at me, and sort of like the AD in this case, I'm kind of like, you know, the guys who are like in the pool who's about to shoot the cue ball, and I'm like, okay, we're rolling, action, and Tom hit him, and you could hear, I don't know if it made it in the film, you could hear the air leave Brandon's lungs. He came out like, and Nick is like, great, cut it. And there's like,
there it is.
And Brandon's like, sure, please. And as far as I know, Brandon had no idea it was coming. It was, it's great. You can't fake that, you know.
You can't think actual pain. You can't fake it.
You could fake trying not to be in pain, but
And Mirth is
Yeah.
just up there smiling, and Brandon.
yeah, well,
And
I'm sure it was all worth it in the end.
I mean, it looks like he's still upright.
Yeah,
over there,
he's
so,
still
I think
alive.
survived, yeah.
He didn't like die shortly after that.
For now.
He's he's got to finish producing that film.
Yeah.
He still needs to hit the play button.
Yeah.
So yeah, he put a lot of props to Brandon. He put a lot of time and his own money into doing
And
this
his own
production.
body, literally.
And his own body.
Yeah, body.
So the man,
Figuratively and literally.
yeah, he
right.
was. We were definitely farming his body that day.
Yeah,
So,
it was silly.
yeah. Just all right.
Steve, when can we see Body Farm?
We can see Body Farm. You got to put me on the spot. January 23rd
What time?
at 7 p.m.
Where?
at the Oaks Theater. Yeah,
How can the fine
last
folks get tickets if they would like them?
they can go online and at bodyfarmmovie.com. And there's a link on the page to get tickets. And or let's see, they're $8 online or they're $10 at the door.
Buy them online, folks.
So you can buy them online ahead of time. Save yourself $2. You can use those $2 to maybe contribute to a drink there or something. You know?
They've got a nice bar there.
Yeah.
That's a nice theater. You guys been there?
It's a brilliant. Yeah, it is.
I was supposed to, and I ended up not going to that event.
It's a big screen too. It's like
Oh, really?
yeah. Normally, like these indie screens. Well, what's the one we went to recently? The one in Bloomfield. It's very tiny.
The Row House.
All right, this is actually a legit movie screen. So
Oh, speaking of,
so you will see every last ounce of breath leave.
yeah. So, and speaking of theaters, I just wanted to bring up, let's see, the Hollywood Theater. Did you guys see anything about that recently?
Some sort of fundraiser is happening, but I didn't much.
Someone bought
They're
it.
actually supposed to be having a meeting about this tonight, like a public board meeting.
Yeah.
That somebody's purchased. I believe they already purchased the
It's
theater,
already been purchased,
and
yeah.
they're debating on what to do with the theater. At this point, it's either going to remain doing what it's been doing for the many years that it's been around. This is, by the way, the Hollywood Theater in Dormont. It's just like right outside of Pittsburgh. Or they're going to become, I believe they called it I forget the name for it now. It's like a second string movie theater or something like that, where they get
Secondhand, yeah.
secondhand, yeah, where they get movies right after they're screened, normally in much, bigger chains and things like that, nationally. So, the goal is to not have it turn into a secondhand theater.
Yeah.
So, if you guys
It's pretty rare that you find a place to show your work as a filmmaker.
yeah, and that's
I mean, you at least want to see it projected once,
Yeah.
so it feels like a real movie,
Yeah,
as
and-
opposed to just a video you made for YouTube.
And that's one of those places where people around Pittsburgh, they do go to screen their movies, and it's just a great place to go and to watch a movie that you might not normally see. So definitely show your support towards that.
Absolutely.
Definitely let your voice be heard to the now current owners of the theater that you want the legacy of that theater to remain alive. So just want to put that out there, just for the future of the theater. So all right, you guys have anything else to talk about? Yeah, I think we
I could keep talking if we need to,
keep talking.
but I think
Talking about what?
we have
What
two
do
guests
you want to
waiting
talk
for
about?
us
What
now.
do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Body Farm 2, the search for more bodies.
Search for more bodies. That's fantastic.
Body Farm 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Darn it, we've run out of bodies. We need to go find some more.
Body Farm 2, dude, where's my kidney?
Yeah.
Dude, where's that?
I know I left it around here somewhere.
I was just like, dude, where's your kidney, dude?
Yeah.
Dude,
I
where's
don't
my
know,
kidney?
dude. Where's my kidney, dude?
Where's your kidney, dude?
So this is, I have to say, this is exciting. This is your first feature director of photography credit. Like I think you shot shorts, but you can say you DP'd a feature. I mean, that's pretty
direct. Yeah, I
it's
DP'd
pretty
a
amazing,
feature.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It says it right there.
yeah. There is my name.
DOP.
I'm really glad that they used Steven instead of Steve, because I don't know if that was. No, I didn't do that by request.
Well, I'm all confused because I did all of our credits. I did this short film called The Angel and the Stockbroker. Nick is a producer, and all the credits, and we just finalized the title sequence. We did this very crazy animated title sequence. It wasn't like black text. It took a lot of work. And I see this, and it's like, it's supposed to be Nicholas? And
Yeah,
I'm not changing that, Nick. I'm sorry. That was too much.
There's another one.
Yeah, like, it's always been Nick. When did that actually change?
Yeah. I mean, everyone calls me Steve, but
Yeah.
I mean, I usually prefer Steven. I don't know. I don't know if I really have a
Hey.
preference.
At this point, I don't even have like.
If
I
I'm
don't even
being
have a real
credited
name.
for something, I would probably prefer Steven
Right.
rather than Steve. But
I've like regressed. I used to go by Timothy M. Roberts.
oh, that's right.
And then I
Timothy.
went to Tim
You're-
Roberts.
You're Reb.
And
you're
now I'm basically the
who?
artist known as T-Rex.
The artist known
It
as
is T-Rex.
And that's
now-
not even a joke.
And now it's Mr. T-Rex.
Mr. T-Rex is the next.
Mr.
That's
T.
definitely 2018 goal.
And then you'll be the artist formerly known as T-Rex.
Yeah. And then T Diddy.
T Diddy. And then you'll be Tough Daddy after that.
I like that one.
Tough Daddy?
Yeah. I've had a nickname T-Rage for one day in my life. That was a pretty
T-Rage?
good day.
Was it because
It
you
was actually a pretty bad day.
You were
It was a good
raging
day.
a
It was a
lot?
good day, but it was a bad day.
Speaking of bad days, you remember the day we met?
No.
How I remember these things, but
I feel like I've known you for so long now, I can't remember that far back anymore.
we were his roommate was doing his thesis at Chatham, right?
Oh, Blake, that's right.
Alright,
Yeah.
so Tim here was playing a homeless guy, and I don't know how we didn't get arrested. We were in the South Side. They lit a
started
fire,
a fire.
in the middle of the street, in the South Side. I don't know why anybody
Because it's
and
South
nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned it.
I live
It
in
was like-
Southside. I live in Southside. Nobody gives a shit in Southside.
Well,
Trust me.
theoretically, I don't know if it's considered Southside. It's more Station Square.
Oh, it was
like-
more Station
it was
Square.
Like by Terminal.
People
like Terminal
might
Way.
give a shit in
The
Station Square.
It was like literally not Terminal Way, but like the Terminal Way buildings.
Okay.
It was along one of the side streets.
Okay.
there.
But that's how I met this man. I was a bum, and you had a speaking part bum.
I did. I smoked a bunch of cigarettes and then smoked.
Weren't you also in a movie where you played like a rapist or something?
Thank you, Steve.
I just had to bring that. I just had to bring that up.
Thank you for reminding me and your audience that the only roles I ever play are either
A bum or a rapist?
physical assaulters, we'll keep it at that,
Okay.
or dead bodies.
Okay.
That's the only thing I play. I'm trying to diversify. You're ruining this for me.
You've been typecast like that.
My agent's gonna have to sue for some like libel and slander. Thanks,
That's
Steve.
all right.
That's your
In this
typecast.
Run it on
movie-
yourself.
That's all right. In this movie, I had to strip down to my undies and play dead. I think
Yeah.
that might actually be more embarrassing.
Did we wrap
You
in
and-
plastic too?
We did, yes.
You
I
and
was
Adam.
Adam Shea had, like, yeah, we were like head to head. And it was like trying to figure out when the camera's going to go overhead so we know, like, play like.
Williams was in that scene with you guys too, wasn't
Oh
he?
yeah, yeah. Williams was in that
Williams
too.
was in that scene, yeah.
I was like the only one that wasn't actually in any part of that movie.
That's okay.
it's, you know,
You
it's-
kind of, if you're in that movie, that means you're pointing the camera at yourself.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That might be
You're
a
like,
little
I
bit
guess
point the
so.
camera, run in front. Hi, everybody. And like, run back.
break the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Oh, it's all right. I don't like being on that side of the camera. I won't audition for things.
I don't like being inside of a camera either.
Yeah. That must feel really weird to be inside the camera. Yeah.
Steve knows nothing about this. Nothing. He just
About
loves his cameras, but he's
being-
never inside of them.
I'm still.
Body farm.
I'm still innocent to the. Getting into. I haven't broken the camera chair yet.
It's okay. You don't need this, Steve.
Have either of you ever broken a camera?
Yeah.
I've broken a lens. It was a really bad day.
I would cry if I even if I broke a lens, I would
I broke an
cry.
L series lens.
Oh, I would.
So nothing like
L series 7200.
what's her face? Anne
was a bad
Hathaway's
day.
stunt double in Dark Knight Rises, who took out an IMAX camera.
Oh, yeah.
There were 6 in the world. Now there are
Yeah.
5 because of this lady.
Yeah.
That's one of
I heard
those
about
never
that.
work in this town again type things.
Yeah. I have a like a condition now about tripods where I can't walk away from a camera unattended entirely because I'm just so paranoid. But I basically was shooting up some product photography
Yeah.
and had my shot set up, had a tripod there, walked away because I had some lighting setups to do, and the tripod, because it's a Manfrotto, and Manfrottos just always end up slipping at some point or another in your life, started to slip. And the leg slid and slid and slipped and slipped, and I wasn't looking. I looked behind, only to see the leg totally slip and the camera going head over heels.
Oh, jeez.
And it went, camera's fine, but went lens first into my basement floor. And
Is that how you broke the lens?
the lens did not make it. There was no salvaging it. I could have had it repaired.
I bet it would cost more to repair it
The
than
repair
to.
bill was like $1,000, and it's a $2,000 lens.
Yeah.
I mean, it was covered by insurance,
Well, that's good.
so really it was like a $500 deductible gets hit. My limit was $500. It was a bad day. I cried.
I was a
little
script
bit.
supervisor on a film once
I would too.
Yeah.
where I guess the second assistant was on like a big shoot. There's like the second, or is it the first assistant? Is the one who like changes the lenses. Is it the first assistant?
Yeah,
All right. The first
Yeah.
AC was off doing something, so the DP is like, "Can you do me a favor? You just hold this lens." I'm like, "Okay." And he gives me this lens. He turns to me and goes, "Be careful. This lens costs more than a house." And it's funny. It didn't seem very heavy before. All of a sudden, it was like bricks. Like, ah!
Yeah, some of those lenses, the cameras lenses, they are very, very expensive. And as a reminder, you don't need, you know, I mean, you probably don't need tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment to make a movie, because we definitely did not have the most expensive camera gear to.
I feel like it's equalized out. Like back when it was filmed and it was like 16 millimeter, like Blair Witch Project, you could tell an obvious difference between. Now it seems like if you guys have the skill as you guys, the equipment is to the point where you could almost pass it off as being.
Yeah.
A,
I mean, there's still going to be obvious differences. I mean, there are certain features, you know, in cinema cameras that, you know, a DSLR obviously isn't going to have. But, you know, we shot all, I think pretty much the entire thing on a Canon EOS 6D. So that's.
I mean, the speed that we had to go to. I mean, if we went any bigger, just imagine if you had something that was like 25 pounds you had to carry from shot to shot and get it set up fast. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we were doing.
Yeah,
I think we were doing like 25 shots a day on average, probably.
Yeah.
I did a 48 with what is it, Sony F65. It was crazy. I don't know how this guy, like literally, he couldn't do certain moves the director asked for because it was just so a beast of a machine.
Yeah.
You ever used
Yeah.
one of those like this?
Yeah.
I've not used no.
I think it was
but
an F65 was
They're a pretty big camera. I mean, you need support. You need to have a lot of support behind it.
Yeah, so I've definitely, you know, I've shot on more, you know, more professional. Well, I don't really know what defines as professional.
Yeah,
but
no one really
anymore.
does.
The,
It's
the
just-
line is kind of blurred, but
In the Avengers, there's not the whole movie, but there are certain shots where like explosions went off, or they didn't want to put high-end cameras where they used like your camera basically
oh really?
for like just random street
Yeah,
stuff.
I
I mean,
know.
it's not the whole movie, but
So like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I know like some Hollywood director of photography that say they'll use like Canon 1DCs as like crash cams because they don't want to risk putting ARRI or red out there. So they'll end up using DSLRs and just for things that are high risk for them. Like they're still using similar technology we're using.
so we shot this on a camera that there are certain shots in the Avengers that were used with our camera. So
Yeah, it can be done. You know, you can shoot a feature film on a DSLR. It's just, you know, also you shouldn't. I don't know. We kind of talked about it a little bit on the last podcast where, you know, I don't know how to word this where it doesn't sound like I'm trying to be a dick, but how do I put that into words?
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about, but
I
I
don't
would say you figure out the story you want to tell, figure out just
Yeah.
what resources you have, and then start molding it from that point. If you're telling a story where you want to be talking, doing high impact Avengers style scenes, but you don't have $50 million of budget, then you have to then think, what really matters in this story? Like, what does this story really say?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's pretty much what
You know
I'm
what?
trying to say.
the
Like,
story is not asking for these superhero and superhero battle for 2 hours. There's an orgy of superheroes fighting. Like,
mean,
that's not what it's about. Let's try to really.
but I mean, we had Steadicam shots in this. We had dolly shots in this. We had
That dollar shot, I actually forgot about that. That was a fun shot.
the one going into the brain you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's exactly what I was trying to, like, kind of the point I'm trying to get at is, like, don't think too big with it. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I mean, the downside with having all those equipment shoots is it's literally heavier, and it's not just the equipment. And you have to have 100 people to handle the equipment. So just moving the camera around becomes just a huge fiasco. And you know, it takes it's like basically an army has to ship from this. It doesn't seem like a lot from this end of the room to this end of the room.
That's one thing I like about indie filmmaking is you always have to look at how do we take the story and then make it fit within the scope that we have to work with. But there's never bigger sets because you need that much personnel support just to do hey, we just need this much personnel support to move camera from A to B. Then all of a sudden you have all of these personnel that are sitting around for 2 hours now doing nothing. But you have to have them there. Indie filmmaking, no one's sitting around ever. It's a constant motion for everyone.
You'll find on these big sets you don't know everybody. I feel like we all knew each other.
oh yeah, we were very family-esque on this set, I want to say. You know, we all got along.
In fact.
Hey now, calm yourself. Save it for after.
Wish I had a straw right about this moment.
All right, where were we? We definitely, there was a certain magic that kind of happened on set. Not to sound too cliche, but we definitely all
I think
worked well together.
Your enthusiasm for it increased as you got on. I think we sort of got a feel
there
for
was
each
a
other.
high morale throughout the entire production.
And it sort of was like a curve that went up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, there are productions where you get on and you don't get along with certain people, and it can just bring it all down pretty much.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much experience you might have, or how experienced everyone is on set. If these guys are all professionals and they do this for a living, if they all hate each other, it's definitely gonna create a very terrible work environment, and it's gonna probably result in a terrible product from that environment.
Yeah, you always hear movies that have issues. You watch movies and you're like, I see that they have crew issues. I can kind of see it coming across on the screen right now.
Yeah, most definitely. So definitely, find the crew. If you're making a film, find that crew that you can, you can bond with on set, and that can understand your ideas to bring to life, and to even if it's just a group of friends, even if you guys have no experience, if you have ideas that you want to bring to life, it shouldn't stop you from making a movie.
it was really cool because the night before, Nick would invite me over, and I would, he had a guest room, and I'd stay over, and we would, present 2 beers, and we'd go over the shot list, and we'd try to talk it out.
Yeah.
A lot of these shoots you go into, you kind of feel like, I'm not even sure what is going on. Why? But this, you knew exactly what.
I mean,
was
granted,
really great. Yeah.
Nick could also make me feel like I don't know what's going on sometimes, but that's just Nick. It's like, oh, actually, let's do this instead, and just completely. Oh, I changed around the shot list for today. So we're gonna do this instead. I'm like, what? When did this happen?
Well, I think it's you when you really prep and then you know it, that gives you the freedom to do that.
Yeah, pre-production gives you
It's sort of
flexibility.
like you have a good sense, and then it's like your brain can click. Like, oh, we put 1 + 2 together, we can do 3 and not have to worry about 1 and 2, and it's only 1 shot. Yay!
Yeah.
You're always. I've not had a film yet where you don't simplify the shot list on the day. Although sometimes you add things too, but
Right.
it was good. I miss our sort of monthly sort of thing where we shoot our little bit. I mean, it's really like
all
we
get
shot
together.
20 short films, but they're all the same story. It was like,
Yeah, just looking at when you shoot, over that stretch of time, if you shoot a short film, it's only 2 or 3 days, it's easy to piece together, the scenes, but I mean, just we weren't all over the place. There was organized chaos, but like Kevin was saying, like this scene was actually shot in 2 or 3 different locations on 3 or 4 different days.
Oh yeah.
And
Like,
trying-
matching
In
hair, matching
the
makeup,
span of
like-
like 2 years.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know the order of like the order of plot points for Body Farm still. I think I do, but
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be twists that I don't even know about, even
Yeah.
though I was on set.
Well,
and
I've
saw
read an earlier script, but they've revised it so many times
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we like
yeah.
shot. So
Yeah.
we we definitely did a couple revisions to kind of incorporate certain elements into it.
Right.
As we were going along, because as I said, we shot this through such a long period of time. Of course it's going to crop up. They're like, hey, what if we did this? And they add that into there. Or, they're like, oh wait, no, this isn't really going to work out too well, so we take that part out of the script, or
And it's also interesting because the producer, director, writers are also playing characters. So it's almost they're discovering these characters as they play them, and then that impacts the rewrites that happen later on. And
that goes back to the idea that we all wear multiple hats on set. Well, that's our producer and our director, are probably wore the most hats because they're not only behind the camera, they're also in front of it.
Yeah.
So they play the 2 leads in the film. So
I think it's helpful when the editor is on set too.
yes, the producer is also. I don't even know if he credits himself on the.
Oh no, it does. It says edited and written by.
Oh, good. Yeah,
So let's count the ways here. We have 1,
how many times is
2,
Brandon on there?
3. I count 4. And actually,
5,
these are 2
5.
because they're 2.
Executive produced.
Right.
Did you get that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that.
2, 3, 4,
4,
5.
5. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Hey, just to wrap up, where can we find more about you guys? Are you on the social medias?
oh goodness, not
Are you
me.
guys hip with the Twitters and the Facebooks?
Yeah, I'm in the
and
Facebook,
Okay.
I'm barely responsive socially. I do have an very 2-year out-of-date website at timrobertsvideoproduction.com.
Well, what was that again? Just
timrobertsvideoproduction.com.
There you
That's
go.
one word.
timrobertsvideoproduction.com.
Correct, Steve.
All
All
right.
right. Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. All right. And we'll find you on. I'm sure you got a few IMDb credits, right?
Yeah, a couple.
All right. Well, you can look up these guys you're on IMDb, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I think.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's Tim Roberts or Timothy M. Roberts
No,
or
you're
T-Rex.
Tim Roberts,
Could just be T-Rex now.
which is hilarious because when you set up like an IMDb, so like me, it's easy. With him, I think there's 23 Tim Roberts. So you're always trying to make sure the credit goes to the correct Tim Roberts. And inevitably, every time I put it out, I'll send him a list like, okay, well, this guy's in the UK, so I'm pretty sure we can eliminate this Tim Roberts. But like,
Which Tim Roberts is
That's
it?
okay. This guy looks too important. This one. One that doesn't have a
I believe you
profile
are Tim.
picture.
I believe
wait.
you are Tim Roberts
Play-
23. Is
Let's
the
see, Tim
real
Roberts. Does it say Tim Roberts acting credits pedophile or? I'm sorry, what was it again?
I don't think that one ended up on IMDb. No.
Was it a pet or?
Unconvicted assaulter.
I keep making it worse and worse every time I bring it up.
Steve, thank you. Thank you.
Pedophile. What was it again?
I bet you there's at least 22 on Megan's Laws list now. Maybe 23 soon. Thank you, Steve.
Are you not allowed to go into school zones anymore because of that?
I'm allowed to speed through the 15-mile-an-hour zones because they want me to get through very quickly.
Okay.
What's spoken on this podcast do not represent the views of
Yeah,
Body Farm,
yeah.
KET Productions,
Brandon's
and Pickle
gonna-
17 Productions.
Brandon's gonna put up a disclaimer, probably. I mean, for his version at least. My version's not gonna,
No trigger warning for your version, I guess.
Yeah. It'll have the big M rating on it or mature or whatever, so you can watch it and just, make your own opinions about what you think Tim is.
Anyway,
Tim
we
signing
are
off now.
we are both on IMDb.
He
to
is
answer
not.
your question.
He is a good man. He has never committed any crime in his life. Just to
No felonies.
clarify that. No felonies. Maybe a few misdemeanors. No felonies.
Yeah. Only in the state of Pennsylvania misdemeanors.
And then not in this country, at least. He might have committed murders in other places, but that was in a past life.
Maybe arson on the street that one time.
That was before he went into the witness protection program.
Everyone knows now, Steve. Thank you. Time to wrap this up, Steve.
All right. So we got where you can find you guys. All right. So we're gonna actually kind of do a kind of like a tag team type event now. So we're gonna tag you guys out with some other guests that we have.
Nice.
Oh, tag! I got you.
Tag. What did you think I said?
I was like, I don't know.
Oh, like a high five?
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Tag team.
Yeah.
Go team.
Go team.
Go team.
Yeah. Go team. Oh.
Good play. Good play. Good job.
Yeah.
Good play.
Yeah. All right.